Welcome to the show that takes up no more than 5 minutes of your time, but could help you gain massive real estate knowledge. It's 5 Minutes in Real Estate with best-selling author Shane Willis.
Hey, it's Shane Willis, Pensacola Real Estate Expert, bringing you today's episode. Today I'm going to talk about something that has always been a really good idea, but is now becoming more and more of a must. Today's marketplace, I had a couple of contracts over the weekend, or a couple of offers that I wanted to make. I met with some new people that had found them, that had been referred to me. It was just two separate clients. Said, hey, we really want to meet over at this house. Normally I don't do that. I should have trusted my instinct. But I knew they were referred to me. And so I just kind of wanted to catch up and see, at least put a face with a name and start to build a relationship. Hopefully that win's not too bad for you guys. Anyways, so both of them really liked the properties we saw. Now we only met for one, because if I'm going to meet somebody for the first time at a property, I'm only going to meet for one. Met for one. Both of them wanted to write an offer. Both of them wanted to write an offer on the spot. So I said, okay, no problem. We'll start working on that. And we kind of talked through what we would offer, putting a lot of emphasis on concessions. And both of them were going VA, so both of them wanted concessions, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It was a great, I know for a fact we would have, and I say that in past tense on purpose, would have gotten both of those contracts. The wind hadn't been blowing until I walk out here. Would have gotten both of those contracts, but we didn't get either. And here's why. As we went to go submit those contracts, where's the pre-approval letter? Who are we working with as a lender? Or are we just paying cash? It doesn't matter to me. Neither one of them had the pre-approval letter yet. They were both using a bigger credit union here in town, and the pre-approval letter was supposed to come the next day. The next day is when the pre-approval letter was going to. Well, as I submitted the offer, I said, hey, I'll have you a pre-approval letter to you soon. According to the loan officer, we should be good, but I don't have it yet. It's not done yet. This wind is just cracking me up. Seriously, there was like no wind 5 minutes ago, and all of a sudden I walk outside and Mother Nature wants to be part of this particular episode. So hopefully it's not bugging you guys too bad. Anyways, both of these customers lost the property. And the reason they lost it is because they did not have a pre-approval. Both of them, as I talked to the other agent, come to find out, was a right at or slightly better offer than what actually did get accepted. But since we did not have a pre-approval letter, they couldn't in good conscience recommend to their sellers, take our offer. And I get it. I have done the same thing. Matter of fact, I've been stuck in a position, it was about 3 weeks ago, where I had a client that I represented the seller. And there are two offers on the table. And I'm sitting there going, I had one of the buyers. One of the buyers was one of my clients, but we did not have a pre-approval letter yet. So the seller asked me, said, hey, these two offers are pretty much the same thing, Shane. I know that if you represent the buyer too, you make a little more money that way, so why don't we just go with your offer? And boy, I had to sit back and went, I can't. We don't have the pre-approval letter yet. That actually worked out better for both the buyer and the seller, because the buyer's pre-approval came back, but it came back about $50,000 less than what they had offered. So we went out and found a different house for them. So it actually worked out better. But the point of all this is, it used to be a good idea to get your pre-approval first. It used to be a good idea. Now, listen, it's almost a requirement. Got to go talk to a lender first. Now, there are some good lenders, there's some not so good lenders out there. I usually ask who we're working with. Somebody says, I've already got a lender I'm working with. Fantastic. Who are we working with? I've seen some good ones up and down the eastern seaboard. I know a lot of good local ones. I've seen some good, some not so hot down in South Florida. I've seen some good, some not so hot out in Texas. And some national stuff, especially if we start talking about the condos. you probably want to look more a little local just because of what they have to deal with here. But you have to get a pre-approval first. Here, this was something that came across my desk that actually kind of just laid it out. Freddie Mac just put it up. It says, highly recommended that you work with your lender to get a pre-approval before you begin house hunting. Pre-approval is going to tell you how much you can afford and is going to help you move faster and with more confidence in competitive markets. Guys, that's what we're in right now. Unless we're talking about 700,000 up and Escambia and Santa Rosa County, we're in a definite competitive market. You need to have that step done first. We can't, in good conscience, submit an offer anymore without a pre-approval. You just kind of have to do that. So, step one, if you do not have a lender you trust or that you've worked with before, give me a shout. I've got a couple of them that I can recommend. I got some really good local ones. I've worked with most national ones for the program long enough. Got a phone call, so I don't know how much of it's missing. Anyways, for those of you who've listened to the program long enough, you know that I owned a mortgage company for a few years, quite a few years, so I can speak mortgages better than most. And I've got some recommendations and I have some people that I probably wouldn't recommend, but I'm just going to leave those off the list for now. All right, getting a pre-approval, not a recommendation anymore, it's almost a requirement. If you want to be competitive and you actually want to find a home, well, you got to start by talking to the banker. We just do. We got to get our finances in order first. All right, that's all I got for you today. As always, if you have not subscribed to get the tips, tricks, graphs, infographics on this podcast, get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. That's 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also, if you hadn't get over to Google Play or iTunes and subscribed, go do that now. I would love a thumbs up and a comment. Please be nice. And finally, if you found value in this or any other episode, I ask that you share it on most social media. Happy Monday, everybody.